Shazam, Fury of the Gods special, Shazam Family Matters. This is a new comic that just came out that is supposed to tie into the new Shazam movie, and I read through it and I'm going to review it for you guys. If you like me reviewing comics, I tend to do this more on my second channel just because I don't feel like my viewers on my main channel really want to see me talk about comics. But if I do talk about a comic on this channel, it's because either I already started reviewing a comic series on this channel or it ties into some future movie that I've already reviewed or talked about or something like that. Or I just genuinely want to talk about. But usually I tend to review that on my second channel. So if you like that, subscribe to Chan Reviews More. And let's talk about Shazam. So I'm super excited about Shazam 2. I really enjoyed the first movie. Absolutely loved that movie. This is a gorgeous cover right here of the Shazam family. And I was very excited about this comic when I heard it was coming out. And honestly, I was a little bit disappointed because I didn't know how much I expected it to tie into the movie. And there was going to be some spoilers. Though there's honestly nothing here to spoil. They're not very good stories. The first one is all right, and I actually could see it tie. And in fact, some of these stories I would say are not canon. So the first one, though, I could say is canon because that's what this is. It's a collection of different stories involving different members of the family. So the first one, the Shazam family goes through this door because if you remember the first movie, you see the Hall of Doors where the Shazam family was going through them and stuff. And then they find out that they're in, I don't even know where they ever said it really was, but basically they awaken the dead. There's this giant dog. The art here in this one's actually really good and pretty cool. But yeah, there's that. And then here's the zombies. And so that story's, I think this is the one I could see being canon tying into the movie. And what I mean by that, if you've seen the Shazam trailers, the villains of the movie are mad that these powers went to some children. And maybe this could tie into Wise because they're going through these doors that they know nothing about. They're messing with the god's stuff. And then they're like, so these are just irresponsible children who've been given the god's power? Like, what the hell, That's an interesting idea. The second one here is about Darla, her going through a door based on her art. This one with the art style feels very not canon and kiddie, which is fine. It's not, but yeah, the art style's all right if you consider it just a one-off non-canon thing. But second one here is about, I think, Pedro, the fat kid. I hate to call him like that, but that's what he is basically, and him just having this weird fantasy game thing. That's like, all right, not very interesting. This last one here actually ties into the first Shazam movie and that door that you saw for just a few seconds in that first Shazam movie about these alligator people and stuff. Now it goes a little bit more into that stuff, and that's cool. And so I'm not going to say too much about that. This last one goes into the kid with the glasses, and he, just kind of his little thing going on. And then you get one in this different art style with Mary messing with plants and stuff. I do not like how Mary is characterized in this comic because she feels very much like she's written as a high school student when she's not a high school student. If you see the movie, she's in college. In fact, one of the main plot lines of the movie is that she was getting ready to move out and leave her family. And then lastly we get a Fred story here, and that's funny. He stops a few robbers and kind of deals with how much him as a character wants to be seen as the hero and things like that. And then you get a little quick Shazam and that. I don't know. There's just a bunch of little different stories in here, and they're fine. They're not great. And again, I think a lot of these are not canon and are just too weird and bizarre to even matter. And then it's like, I think I really like the Riddler Year One comic. I have issue number 3. I haven't read 3 yet. I need to do that. There'll be a review coming later this month, probably in the next couple weeks, just because how I have my review schedule for videos. But that tied into the new Batman movie really well, and it was interesting and stuff. This just feels like a bunch of random stories with the Shazam family. And some of it feels like it's going to tie in, some of it doesn't. And none of it may tie in. I don't really know. I haven't seen the movie yet. Super excited to go watch Shazam. I love that character. You know, super cool. You know, and I want to see what's going to happen, what all this is about, right? But I just think that, like, this doesn't feel like it's going to tie in well. The stories aren't great. The art is nice, and I am happy to have this as a collector's item. This was like $10 in my local comic book shop, and I think if you have one near you, you should definitely go grab this and support this. Because the idea of encouraging people to buy comics that tie into movies to not only get people excited about reading the comics, but also the movies, you know, because I guarantee you there are going to be people who pick up this comic who have never read comics, but then they hear one's tying into a movie they really like, and they've been curious about the comics, you know, that sort of thing gets you in the door there. And I thought this was awesome to check out. Riddler Year One, though, I feel like it's something that ties into the movie, feels canon, and is worth reading overall. This, I don't know. It's okay. I guess if it piques your interest, it's worth picking up. If you're a fan of Shazam, I think you definitely should read this. But just wondering how much it actually is going to tie into the movie. There's some fun stories. I think the first story is my favorite. The Shazam family having movie nights and then doing fun stuff with these stories. That very much feels like in line with these characters. Again, I don't like how Mary is characterized though. That's one of my biggest problem with these. Like the first one, she's on the phone with the boyfriend the whole time, and you're like, this feels like a high school student. And then, she's hanging around with the family, having movie nights and stuff. I'm like, well, is she? She's got school. She's got college, so I don't know. Great comic, but there you go. It's all about family. So, yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on this comic if you've read it. I think it was an interesting read. Little disappointed, but I still am excited for Shazam in 2 more weeks. So I will be reviewing that in 2 more weeks. As soon as possible, guys. As soon as possible, I can sit in that theater and watch Shazam. I will. Because I am beyond ready. Yeah, we're actually showing. So let me know your thoughts, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.